the week before Christmas, and I decide that I would like to make some cookies. So I flip through some recipe books, I find the recipe that I want. I go to the pantry, I go to the refrigerator, gather all the ingredients, mix up the dough. And the recipe are these ball-shaped cookies, and they're covered in nuts. So I roll out about 24 ball-shaped cookies, I lay them out on the cookie sheet, and I lay it in the oven. And I come back to the recipe to see how long the cookies need to cook, and I realize that I missed a step. That it says after you shape the cookies, you're supposed to roll them in egg whites. So I come back to the oven, I take the cookies out. I roll all 24 cookies in egg whites, put them back on the cookie sheet, put back in the oven. Come over to the cookbook and read, and then roll in nuts. I probably should have told you that I've had, in the past, some trouble following directions while I was campaigning for president. But better late than never, and in the interest of full disclosure, I'll share a couple other things that you probably should have known about me too. On occasion, I've been known to be a bad planner. One Friday afternoon comes to my attention that Randy Carlisle is going to be playing in Aspen. Does anybody here know Randy Carlisle? I love her. Beautiful voice, kind of folksy, kind of bluesy. And Aspen's about 4 hours away, but we can make it. So my husband and I leave work early, we get somebody to take care of the dogs, we pack an overnight bag, and we hit the road. We get to Aspen about an hour before the concert is going to start, which is enough time to get a hotel room and relax. But we've arrived on Jazz Aspen weekend, and the town is crawling with celebrities and tourists. There is not a hotel room to be found in Aspen. In fact, most of these places have been booked for months. So when my husband asked me with just a hint of irritation in his voice about why I hadn't booked the hotel room that afternoon, I didn't have a great answer. I could not imagine that there wouldn't be a single hotel room in all of Aspen. There are a lot of hotel rooms. So the nearest town to Aspen is a little place called Snowmass. It's about a half an hour away. And after speaking with about a half a dozen different places, I finally found one that had a room available. So we ended up showing up about half an hour late for the concert. It was a wonderful time and a great experience. So now you know that you have a president who has trouble following directions and isn't a very good planner. You might be wondering, can it get any worse? Yes, it can. Because I have to admit that I'm also a slow learner. You might think that coming so close to sleeping in my car on a cold mountain night would have been enough to scare me straight. It's only 2 years later that my husband and I show up in Moab, Utah without a hotel reservation. Moab is in the middle of nowhere in northeastern Utah. So have you ever seen those beautiful desert landscapes with these amazing arch-shaped rock structures? That's Moab. It's incredible. We happen to arrive on the night before their big marathon. There is not a hotel room to be found. So we're on our way out of town. We pull into a Super 8. It's the last thing we'll hit before Green River, which is about 45 minutes away. And I'm standing at the counter waiting for the guy to get off the phone. And I can hear he's canceling a reservation as I'm standing there. Without a second thought, I book that room. And as we're sitting in our dated hotel room with the thin pillows and the well-worn comforter, it occurred to me that $180 was too much money to spend for a Super 8. But we had a really fantastic meal at Milk Stop and Eat, so if you're ever in Moab, I highly recommend it. And we spent a wonderful day hiking, so I still consider the trip a success. But I don't want to despair, because I'm not always bad at following directions, and I'm not always bad at planning. And in fact, these weaknesses in one area are actually strengths in another area. Because I'm good with going with the flow and adapting to situations and being a creative problem solver as things come up. And I'm also very good at seeing the big picture. And these are skills that I hope to benefit NPS with as I try to develop and implement a mentor program that helps all of us to become better speakers. And for those of you who are more detail-oriented, like Carl, or like Michelle, who's not here but organizes her crayons alphabetically, I invite you to step in and help me when I need help. because I believe that we all have different skill sets and that they all overlap and complement each other, and that together we can accomplish a lot more than we could do alone.